No IO.
No IO. Totally ignored.
Good. I agree with this.
Jenkins is just.
I'm just starting to believe IO.
I don't agree with this.
I'm starting to be on the IO is not must first pick material train.
10 seconds remaining.
It does change the way you have to play Dota, but that's like a lot of heroes. You know, that's like what a Brood pick does. That's like what a Meepo pick does. It changes the game, but it doesn't mean it's a first pick worthy hero.
Yeah, but
Well, I don't know about Undying. Ooh, that hero's not had much success.
But then again, this is Innocence drafting, and after that last game, I feel like I'm feeling a little bit more of the wing swagger carrying over into his EHOME brethren. It feels like, and I mean, what a cool freaking story it would be if remnants of the old wings got to play in the major in the city where they originally started in. That would be so cool.
I would love that.
that would be cool.
For sure.
They wouldn't even have to take a plane. They would just.
I think
Well,
they're in Shanghai now.
No, I
They
think
play
they're
at Team
still
House.
there. I think they're still there.
Okay.
In
Okay.
spirit.
Jenkins has the insider info.
That's
Mhm.
right.
They're chilling.
10
Maxing,
seconds
relaxing.
remaining.
Where's your hometown, Jenkins?
You really want to know?
Dire
Yeah.
team back.
That's why I'm
Kingston, Ontario,
Kingston, Ontario.
Canada.
How would you feel if there was a big Dota land there that you got to play in front of the
I would be-
home crowd?
I would be very happy with that.
Is that place like Kingston, Jamaica?
People always get that confused. Yeah.
Okay.
Anytime you type in Kingston for Domino's Pizza or whatever you want to order, Kingston, Jamaica. I've ordered like 50 pizzas for just Jamaican guys.
10
Have you ever
seconds
been to
remaining.
Jamaica?
No, have you?
No. I want to.
Have you?
It's Jamaican
Nope.
me crazy that I
5
can't go.
seconds remaining.
That's good. I'm sure Jamaicans are so sick of that joke at this point.
The puns at 3 a.m. just, oh yeah, they're on point.
It should also be noted that Group B is decided, so we're just waiting for this match right now. If Keen Gaming are able to win, it does go to tiebreakers. If EHOME win, then there are no need for tiebreakers.
FTD's playing Aster, I believe, on the other stream.
Yes.
But if Aster win, they get the first seed. But either way, they're the top two is decided. So that's doesn't really matter whether you're first or second seed when 3 out of 4 teams in the playoffs are making it.
Yep.
Just don't lose twice.
Mm-hmm.
You can lose once, not twice.
There's a 100% chance if you get into the playoffs. You have a 75% chance of getting to the major.
So are we just going to have like 2 best of 3s tomorrow, or how does that work?
I think they play the extra matches for seeding because they want to
Okay.
know who's the 1, 2, and 3 seed from each region.
All right.
That's what I was a bit told.
10 seconds remaining.
So we'll see. I think the Chinese teams will take those a bit more seriously. Last time around
5
at the
seconds remaining.
KL Major, some of the teams had a bit of fun in the seeding matches.
Yeah.
VP particularly were clowning around.
When aren't they clowning around, though?
Yeah, that's true. Well, they had to not clown around a bit in their own region. They almost lost. They did lose,
It's true.
and then they won.
What was the other one?
See, when you clown around in the major finals, I could see why you would just start clowning around everywhere. You just get an ego. It's like I'm gonna quintuple tip this enemy mid laner,
Yeah.
waste all my tips right at the start of the game. Everybody
Radiant's
knows that's
team
not a
pick.
good.
Dire team
That's
pick.
not a good tip.
Yeah, that's when you know
strat.
they're missing.
Okay, so they ban out the ET in the first phase. They ban
Yeah,
out the
this-
Void in the second phase.
See, this is to me maybe more where IO's going to fit in as like a third, fourth pick IO Gyro where you ban out like the Void here. Some of the counters, the more problematic heroes.
Do they pick a Morphling? That's the old. You're gonna pick
I don't
Gyro.
think so.
I think you wait
I'll
for the-
counter you.
Wait for the Gyro before you get the Morph here, I would say.
I think
5
that also
seconds
that's
remaining.
not the style of drafting that Innocence tends to do. I think that he likes to come up with other solutions that other people haven't done.
So I'm hearing is Techie's Pudge.
Okay, yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
I was thinking Wyvern actually. I was thinking Wyvern and then like some other like maybe Wyvern Mag or something.
Yeah.
Core Rubik.
I don't know if you can commit to the core Rubik yet because there's just not enough good spells to steal though. For me at least.
I think Centaur ulti's pretty good and Lich ulti.
There's Lich ulti. I think it's like the nukes though. Like last game you see this
Yeah.
like puck and stuff and you're like, okay, this is
Hey, you want to
you
know
have a
like
good lane and a good nuke you can steal.
you want to know like the mid matchup, I
Oh,
guess.
Mag's already banned anyways. Yeah. That makes
That
sense.
hero looking pretty good.
Radiant's team pick.
So they do go for the Morphling.
The preemptive morphing
Alright.
too. That's
Oh yeah.
I just think you can wait till you see gyro. 'Cause what if they just don't?
Do they just not pick Gyro?
Yeah. What if they just don't gyro? What if they just do some other combo like IO with
Bristleback.
Centaur? You know,
Oh, Bristle,
Um,
that would be sick.
if you really want this more first gyro matchup, like why not wait? I guess. Obviously, they think there's something else they can hide and
10
counter
seconds remaining.
Keen's draft with, maybe out of the off lane.
Maybe switching
5
it over to
seconds
the.
remaining.
I mean, I guess
Oh.
if you like Gyro, if you did do core, Rubik has some good spells too, so they could do that
See,
like
what-
position 5.
What's like an ultra hard counter to Morphling that you could just bait Morphling by picking the IO? Then
The AA was, a traditional one.
I'm thinking like more so like carry because you can't.
Anti-mage people
I was
liked a bit.
Necro is pretty rough sometimes.
Necro's pretty good, but
Necro is awful now.
Necro's terrible. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a problem. Bristle's pretty good with the IO, but it's not great against Morphling.
You could maybe bully him in lane pretty hard. Switch it over to like a Centaur safe lane.
Sure. And do like more of like a traditional carry mid, or just
Yeah.
go with a bunch of semi carries to make up for the fact you don't really have a carry.
You do need some more control though, and right now it's
They're
kind of
actually
lackluster.
they're actually just not like thinking about going for the gyro. Like they're really considering what else they can pick. I think
Did they disconnect?
No,
They're back.
I think so. There you go.
I think like Luna would be pretty good. You have the movement speed, Ags
Ooh.
upgrade.
That's cool.
Maybe also not that great against a Morphling just because it's like an aura hero. Like you can steal the Luna and it's very
Dire
strong.
team pick.
They do go for the gyro.
It took a long time to consider it.
Yeah, I get it. I get why they're just like. Do we just bait the Morphling because it's not looking like it's an excellent hero right now, and then just punish it, or do we give them what they want?
I imagine they considered everything else and they just decided, Io Gyro is still just the best option.
Yeah.
We banned the Void. The adjustment was, let's ban the Void. This gives them this big team fight that just counters us,
10
and then
seconds
go Io
remaining.
Gyro. Hey, they pick a Morphling. Don't be scared off. Like, stick with your gut. This is going to be
5
better
seconds
because there's no Void.
remaining.
Yeah.
Don't second guess it because suddenly
Radiant's
Morphling
I think
team
Sand
back.
King. Oh,
Sand King's banned.
This
oh,
is
wait,
another
where-
really
where's
good
it been?
answer.
was banned before. the
Oh,
Void.
second phase. Yeah.
So they banned out Sanking Void.
I think this is such a good hero for this. I mean, I like
Kunkka
Kunkka a lot. but
kind of struggle though, at least in terms of scaling into the late game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cleave damage changes.
You have Lich Armor too, which gives the physical reduction. Centaur Ags ulti, like the cleave is just that much
10
worse.
seconds
But you do
remaining.
have these like pretty heavily committal heroes in the Centaur Lich Io Gyro. Like you
5
relocate in,
seconds
just drop the
remaining.
boat,
Team back.
and it's really good for turning around that team fight. Likewise, Centaur is really good for just like getting out of a team fight. They both have like ways to get in and out, like to bait fights and to also to get out of them as well,
Could
like
see
turn fights.
EHOME take like an Earthshaker here. Just go full team fight. Plan on Morphling to carry us, start taking some buildings
Dire
down.
team pick.
Razor ban.
And Enigma. And they're just looking at these big team fight ultis that are hard to play Io Gyro into because those heroes are often grouped next to each other.
No Faceless Void available still? What? I mean, there's still an Axe. Axe is pretty solid.
10
Just
seconds
cut the wave
remaining.
against Io Gyro. You get the like double call on these heroes.
5 seconds remaining.
Kind of the only like offlaner that's
I like Earthshaker.
left in the pool. Unless there's something I'm totally. The Earthshaker would be good. Earthshaker I think would be good. The Io Gyro, like even if you just don't have the Echo Slime, you can still set up like a double fissure and it's still
Radiant's
strong.
team
Okay, they got the brew.
Hey!
All right,
Look at that!
sweet. They got the brew against the Lich too. That's great.
Wow!
Finally, thank God.
EHOME. EHOME.
We just stopped talking about this hero. Like here we are. We finally gave up talking about Brew because no one's been picking it, and it comes out. About
We
fucking
we
time.
really did.
We,
So we're like, we don't want people
we
to get
beat that dead horse.
we don't want people to get sick of us talking about brew.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
And now,
Now
we get to talk about
now
brew.
are you going to go for the Brew or the Io Gyro
5
though?
seconds remaining.
Jenkins, man, you conflicted.
I gotta go with the brew, man. This year it's looking really good.
Choose your hero.
It's like 68% win rate, something like that. First pick material. It just
Yeah.
does so much. It just does so much. The fact that you have this crazy team fight ultimate that lets you isolate somebody in a team fight, do a lot of damage, pick up the radiance, you carry in the late game, and then you have this like crit ability that also lets you just gank people without committing your ulti. You don't need to have an ulti on Brew to be effective anymore. You can solo kill supports, you can get a BKB, go and whack somebody 3 times, they'll die from full HP, and then use the ulti and do everything that Brew used to do as well. And Brew was getting picked in the previous patch as well. He was a worse hero.
Already,
he was
yeah, he's
he was
already good.
already really, really good.
Some of these heroes that got buffed, it was like, weren't they fine? Like Monkey King? Let's just give him a phase shift. Like,
Yeah, come
wasn't
on.
that hero being
Come on.
picked every single game of like the grand finals of the last major? Like, okay.
I'm
Yeah,
okay
why
with
not?
Monkey King Brew being good though. They're fun heroes.
Oh no,
They're
and,
really fun.
and the buffs they got weren't like there were some tweaks, some fun
I
fun
think
changes.
Monkey King was pretty significant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
being able to like manta dodge for sure.
But it's nice because like the game, it's like a bad monkey game is still a bad monkey game. Like you can't pick at some games, and there's still the good ones where it's good regardless of the spell. But when you're playing it, you have this extra added tool to make some outplays with. That's should be an interesting game. I think King Gaming, they're going for this DK Centaur with the Jaru. They do have some damage output problems. I also feel like they haven't really addressed Morphling with this DK pick.
Yeah.
They could stun him, you know, get
What's
lucky.
the
maybe.
burst? Like you have to.
DK is one of those heroes you're just happy to go Lincolns against because you're just not going to get stunned when it's off cooldown.
Yeah.
And they don't have great ways to break the Lincolns right now.
Yeah, true.
Prepare for battle.
Well, we'll see if Mr. Ego himself is going to be able to survive against the jump there and how this game is going to look out. We'll say Centaur Lich. It's a pretty nice combination. Could be a little bit of trouble for EHOME in this lane at least.
So
Although, I guess you've
Rubik.
got Undyne as the answer.
Sure. All right. You could do. I don't think so. I think Centaur Lich loses to very few lanes. God, with the new Retaliate as well. Like we've seen these Centaurs just like intentionally try to get hit in these lanes, and with the Lich slow, you just get so many hits off. My God, I'm telling you, look how small these heroes are compared to the
30
trees.
seconds to battle.
Why do you have in your head that heroes are bigger than trees?
Because look at them. Look at the size of this guy. This guy's way bigger than a lot of these trees.
Yeah, then you see the tree branches are over his head. Way above his head. You have some like depth perception.
I
issues
mean,
or
I
something.
definitely
Didn't we
do.
talk about you needing glasses?
I think I actually need glasses. Yes, I think this is legitimately correct.
Uh-oh.
Force him to hoof stomp
He's
you.
larger than that tree for sure. Come on.
That tree, maybe.
Come on and die. Yeah,
Put it.
The battle begins.
he's got to go for this.
Dun 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 dun. Trade off.
Beat his ass.
Get him.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna get him.
You got double decay though. He's happy.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
2 double decays.
Faith Beyond takes some punches. But he's got 8 tangos in the
No, he
south.
only had 1 double decay.
At 16,
Yeah, he decayed center 3 times.
did he?
Yeah.
That's not great to be centaur right now. This guy's
Oh,
decaying.
he's only got -8. Maybe you're right. No, I think he lost one.
He
of the
lost
stacks.
one.
Lost
Yeah,
one, yeah.
He just chased him with some decays. Gets his early magic stick. Magic stick great against decay because you're just getting more value out of the HP regen when you have less strength.
Actually, HP regen now in general better against the decays because it does not scale with the strength. So when you lose the
There you go.
strength, you don't. Oh wait, no, you do lose regen though. Just with the tangos, it's better.
Sure. Yeah. But that's like kind of always been the case, right? Or you're saying it's better now?
Before you would steal strength, you use the tangos. Your strength would go lower, so you'd lose tango regen as well.
Yes. Yeah, but for
So
the
now you-
person
now you
losing,
lose less.
Yeah, yeah. But the person who's losing the strength is happy to use those stats.
Yes, they're more happy now than they
Yeah.
were previously.
Okay.
Pretty happy previously though too.
Yep. So here we are. Support pulls. Classic stuff.
Just gonna get in there, try and get some experience, maybe steal a couple of the last hits himself, and in the meantime, Morphling misses a CS. Perfectly fine.
Inexcusable. They've lost the game.
I mean, they picked Morphling, so
That's true.
Hey, Morphling's been alright. It's looked bad some days and fine other
it
days.
has, yeah. So has Gungo.
I think Morphling's kind of like TB, where it's looked pretty bad some days, but there's actually been some good TB and Morphling games where the heroes look fine.
And then you have Doom that just always looks bad.
Yeah, except that one game.
Which game?
One we saw yesterday, right? Where it was the unkillable Doom who had like 4 heroes going him and he's still living.
Yeah, but they also had like an Ursa against.
Oh yeah, they did. They did.
That was
The other team's draft was god awful.
They were done. They were done with Dota.
Oh, look at EHOME.
They're gonna go play Artifact today.
That's right. You've got the Kunkka beating the DK pretty substantially here.
We saw this matchup before, right? Just the
Yeah.
fact that you have this damage to deny. DK, takes people's damage. Gunka doesn't care about that. He already has the damage coming from the Tidebringer.
No.
Bringer of Tide.
The Leviathan sword. And so far, not really a whole lot of action between these rotations.
This looks like a pretty passive laning stage. Both teams have hard carries that want to farm, the Morphling on one side, the Jar on the other. Both teams have a mid laner that is just a kind of a static farming lane as well. DK versus Kunkka, this is like a snoozer for the mid lane.
We saw this
Um,
exact one before, man.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
both went double bracer too, right?
Yes.
I don't actually know if you need the double bracer in this lane. It seems excessive when the other opposing mid has no kill potential.
Hey,
Down
man.
bottom though, Brew getting kind of low. Should be fine. Oh, he's salving. This is maybe where we see a kill if Io Gyro get aggressive with like level 3 or something. But even that is quite tricky because Brew Rubik is pretty strong.
Brew does so much damage. It's easy to forget how much damage this hero really does just because we haven't seen it in so long in this region. But if Rubik gets a well-timed lift on the Io and the Brew has his Drunken Brawler up, he's going to annihilate that hero. Just no armor to work with whatsoever, and Brew is going to...
That's where Io needs like a tether out immediately. Like
Yeah.
break your current tether and have a target to go to.
Yeah, for sure.
They're going to try and go now onto this Rubik here.
Could be a kill actually. They're going to need a good telekinesis out, and I don't think they've got it.
Is under attack.
Trouble. Somebody's dying. It's first blood taken by Old Chicken.
Yeah, can't really be there by yourself contesting that pull. And hey, top lane, same thing, another kill.
Break the salve and need to switch back over to more strength.
Damage that Centaur does is unreal.
Oh, get away from me! Holy hell. Now he has the regen afterwards.
God, you can see the strength of this combo, though.
Yeah.
That Lich slow with the Centaur right clicks. Like, this hero is no longer this burst hero. He's actually just a stunner who wants to right click people. We see him building into Assault Cuirass as well. Even, you know, second, third item. Just because he hits hard. He's a right clicker now.
Yeah. 2-0, and Lich denies himself to the tower.
Good. Lich is, you know, all these heavy mana cost spells, you spam them out, run out of mana regen, kind of like the Undying, just go suicide to a tower.
Yeah. One of the best heroes to do that on now, too. You know, you get so much damage.
What? And what? Well, there's a couple there that turn around and kill.
Suddenly it's EHOME getting the kills in the side lanes.
Oh.
They see Lich suiciding a tower and they're like, oh, let's just go in right now. He's alone.
Didn't that happen in the last game, too, with the Undying suiciding?
I think so.
And the center had already lost a lot of strength to decay. Like he had, when the Undying died and came back in, he instantly decayed. He was already at like -8. So
Yeah.
imagine Morphling just sees him on super low strength, waves in, kills them all.
Oh, Fairy Fire living. Now Faith beyond a bit far forward, but if they can
Potential
get the lift.
Break the tether.
All right, not
And
bad.
Maybe tether out though, yeah.
All right. I thought he was going to try and Fade Bolt Old Chicken, but
The
pop
problem-
one and they're good.
The big problems with this Doom, or sorry, this Brew versus Io Gyro is that you have to get the clap on both of them, or both of the heroes are just going to have the movement speed of. Well, you want to go in the Io, right? But if you don't clap the Gyro, the Io's just going to have the Gyro's movement speed.
Yeah. If you clap gyro, the Io gets slow.
Dire
Right.
are scanning.
Yes,
it's set based
unless
on the hero you
unless
test.
the Io has faster movement speed. I think it takes like the max
Okay.
between the two.
This is kind of a nice kill here if they can get it. Decay as it comes through. He's trying to hit, trying to kill. Drop the tombstone, every dang thing, and the kill is there. Take down the DK.
It's a good little gank. Undying, not a ganking hero, but Kunkka just knows he's not quite going to have enough damage, and he's a little bit extra. Undying probably did maybe like 200 damage there with the Decay Soul Rip.
Tower is under attack.
152
Crazy.
with a slow from the Tombstone Zombie. That's the DK calculating. He knows he'll live that if it's just the Kunkka.
Also, the strength steals like 80 plus damage.
That's
close,
where it's
close
like
to 100 damage.
yeah, a bit over 200 damage in reality.
Yeah.
Did get the last hit on the tombstone there, the DK, so that's something.
Oh really?
To,
I guess he TP'd in.
That's a lot of
Still
gold
there,
right now.
yeah, 125.
Yeah.
Dire's
Actually,
bottom
nice little bit of
tower is
recovery.
under attack.
Looks like Kaka picks up the regen, heals the gyrocopter back up.
His Gyro's not CSing all too well down here, but it's definitely a tough lane for him.
I would expect him to do a little bit better, but I guess this Brew is just such a strong hero, man, for laning, for everything.
Triple Wraith Band on the Morphling as per usual. Does get level 6 and still saving that point, see if he needs to go into a Morph. Or if he wants to try and go. Take a second point Adaptive Strike instead. Okay.
You know, the thing is, this Aquila gets nerfed. And, people have less mana regen as a result. These carry heroes just build into raw mana instead.
Has 10 stick charges on the IO, trying to make this live happen, and looks like it's going to.
Yeah. They still don't do any return damage, so even though you don't kill Gyro, that's still fine, because it's just free harass. Your Rubik Brew still have full HP, full mana.
What is it?
And-
Does I have any regen? He's got a little bit of regen left for the gyro. Should be fine.
Meanwhile, the wraparound coming yet again.
Round 2. Again, it's the Undying here.
Tries to make it happen, but it was a little bit
Didn't
late.
get the torrent.
He does have X.
Dire's
Oh, no,
top
he doesn't.
tower is
Long
under
cooldown, just
attack.
level 1. But a DD rune going to get taken by Dark.
Damage.
That would have been real nice for
kill,
the
yeah.
Kunkka.
Yeah,
He's going for the kill though. No.
Yeah, Lich can actually do a lot with his DD rune just because he has 3 disabled spells.
Faith Beyond still has stick charges. He should be fine here. Although, on the other side of it, this Rubik is going to give up his life.
He's trying to save his friend. Ends up giving his own life for it. I think Panda probably just walks away from that scot-free, even if you don't do that. One of those situations where you just don't realize like how much danger you really are in with your positioning. Rubik, you're out of position for a second, you just get obliterated.
So pretty even early game, even with a
Wait,
slight 1k gold lead.
What's going on? He's Blades of Attack and
Armlet.
Chainmail.
Right? No, just kidding.
Oh, he's going for
Getting
shreds, but what's the Chainmail for?
Radiant's
Wasn't sure if
middle
he
Sure, he
wanted
was
to go
going
for
phase, and then
boots.
he's going not phase. He wants both.
Okay.
Alright.
A little odd. Oh,
He just
are they
told
not
us-
his?
He TP'd in with his teammates.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
it is.
okay, okay.
Yeah, it's the chainmail
He
for...
put on the courier. So he TP'd in and wanted to give Undying an item, and he must have maybe picked up the wrong item from his team or something.
Alright, because I was going to say, you could just buy the full phase beats from the side shop, so I don't see why Bruce not buying it from there.
Yeah.
That was confusing.
Yeah, he just brought the wrong item to lane.
Rip. We caught that. We saw you. We saw you mess up.
Well, 10 minutes in, and you can see the CS. Morphling still having a good time.
It's a centaur, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, Morphling's
Debate.
gonna have a pretty good game, I feel.
The gaze.
Might not do a whole lot.
Looked cool.
They do have the tombstone available. And getting ready to battle for the runes. Looks like they'll be giving it up. Team Gaming will get 3.
Yeah.
Oh, no, EHOME. Excuse me. Morphling able to steal that one
Kunkka
away.
actually came to the bot lane. He's just there's nothing there for him other than a haste rune.
Okay.
Yeah, he's happy. He's pushed out of the lane, then he goes, sees if he can make a play around the bounty runes, doesn't do so, back to mid. Not really wasted time.
Well, he came like a little after the bounty rune spawn, so it
Okay.
was.
Look
I
at
think
this guy.
anticipating like the DK was going to do more bot lane, just try to fight that.
2,000 HP, just about. This Kunkka.
I mean, his DK got 1,700, 1,600. Oh, we went. Okay,
He went phase.
He went
No,
phase.
phase
Yeah. Phase single bracer. I guess someone will give you some stuff.
I can't help but think that with these bracers, you just get enough stats that you don't actually need a regen item like a soul ring. Even in the last patch, we saw DKs going 2 bracers wand. Just because you have enough mana with that, you don't need to invest in a soul ring.
I guess he can go the non-mana regen talent at level 10.
Sure.
With the Soul Ring.
So the one thing that's kind of cool about this Kunkka pick is it's always going to be a problem for Kaka. He is going to be going into the urn for the 2 armor right there, but having the very low armor on this IO could run into some issues.
Also, just the fact that if you relocate into a fight or out, the Kunkka
Right.
can just X.
And Kunkka for a long time was the gyro IO counter
Dire
because
are
you know,
scanning.
Flactus does no damage against the Ram.
Yeah.
People were playing this Kunkka mid constantly against it.
Yep,
It
Gyro,
was LGD who started that.
Gyro like drops all the spells, commits to a fight. Kunkka has
Radiant's
the
bottom
rum
tower is
to
under
allow you to
attack.
like turn, and
Radiant
by the time the rum
structures
wears
are
off, you've already won the
fortified.
fight, basically.
Dire's top tower
Well,
is
immediate
under
pressure
attack.
onto the tower. They do
Radiant's
bring the
bottom
DK
tower
in with
is
the
under attack.
DK form, the dragon form, and going to take this tower.
Those of you just tuning in, EHOME, if they win, will be in the playoffs. King Gaming have to win to force
Dire's top tower
tiebreakers.
is under Dire's top tower has
And
fallen.
then who's the other
Radiant's
team that
middle
wants the
tower is
tiebreakers?
under
if they
attack.
draw? One other team is in those tiebreakers. Who are we
Not
forgetting?
Sure.
Is it Root?
Root, yeah, Root Gaming. They're cheering for the boys, King Gaming here.
Radiant's bottom tower
China's
is
interesting. I
under
feel like
attack.
that third slot after
Radiant
LGD
structures
Vici is pretty
are
open.
fortified.
Yeah, definitely.
Aster,
Dyer's
You mean
top
LGD
tower is under
Aster?
attack.
I don't think Aster's looked dominant by any
Radiant's
means
middle tower
since
is under
the
attack.
roster changes.
Lift up there. Gonna go for the split as well. They don't break the tether though, and the Stampede run away. Can they find anything here at all? As they're also trying to control this DK as Elder Dragon Form wears off, and the lift up on the IO with the Morphling jumping in. They find that kill, and they're ready to dive to their tier 3 towers. IO's dead as well.
And they're like, oh wait, there's a tier 2 here, no problem. There's a hero we can kill. Centaur,
Oh.
let's get him.
Old 11 though, doing what his team needs him to, and looks like he's gonna pay with his life.
Is that just? I don't know if it's a bit late to save the gyro. Unfortunately, is the problem.
Yeah. And yeah, the creep wave next one's just right here anyways.
That ends up going so well. I love they bring the Morphling in. Morphling's ahead. There's no point just continuing to farm at him. Treads, Triple Wraith 1. This Morphling can fight and offer a lot, particularly when he has ultimate. Not that he actually used it that fight.
He's
yeah.
going DKB after
Radiant's
Dragonlance.
bottom tower
Okay.
has fallen.
Seen a bit of this, like, just Dragonlance rush, get involved in early fights, and then into, like, normally like a Manta style, or like a Yasha, but DKB.
I get it. I mean, there's the Lich. Like every single one of Lich's spells, pure. It's just magic damage. Gyro, pure magic damage. DK at this point, mostly magic damage.
They just
Centaur,
have
magic.
no answers to BKB as well. You can just wave in with BKB and kill a Lich or an IO. These
Yeah,
supports are
there's-
just so squishy.
There's actually no BKB piercing spells on Team Gaming. unless
What
I'm-
they do have is a Stampede escape, so if you do that, they may just
They can
Stampede
get
you
out.
run away.
Yeah, yeah,
Is
true.
under
true.
attack.
I don't know. I'm not sold this is the best item to get right after your Dragonlance, but it doesn't seem bad.
Okay. Well, converging onto the mid lane right now. Rubik is ready to go with a level 4 Hoof Stomp. No points in double edge for old 11. He doesn't like it.
New build.
Okay.
Like I haven't seen this build yet on Centaur.
Invis moving into position here. The Rubik could
How
hit a
many
really
heroes?
big stomp. No, they're hitting there.
They
They
know.
realize it. The silence is there, and they're able to catch it. He hit on the spirit. The long duration stun. Old 11 seeing what he can do. They're going to pull back in. No,
Oh,
they
they didn't
interrupted
get
it. Okay, Kaka is going to die, and now maybe going to lose a little bit more. Chain Frost is bouncing, slowing up everybody on EHOME, but
Yeah,
they
the
did
X, though.
find the X onto that gyro, but there's no follow-up afterwards. Rubik buys back, able to steal double
Another
edge.
X soon.
Retaliate, rather. Seeing if they can kill off this Centaur, and it looks like they are
They
going
die.
to be able to, most likely.
That fight could have gone so much worse for Keen, I feel.
Yeah.
I guess they know that some of these EHOME ultimates were on cooldown, like the Bruce split,
Radiant's
although it
top
comes up now
tower
that they
is
felt they
under
could take it, but man, Rubik with an invis potential like 3 or 4 man hoof stomp.
The X2 like didn't quite land on the IO, bringing him back. He would have died instantly.
Yeah, I think either Centaur or somebody interrupted that callback from the Kunkka, so really well done.
Oh,
Radiant's
he
middle
got called
tower
back like
is
a
under
second
attack.
later. I think probably by like the timeout.
Well, yeah, exactly.
So was that Midas on Brew?
Hey?
It was.
Yeah, this is like a-
that's
Oh, Midas into Blink. Usually it's like Midas into just
Radiant.
Radiance. Yeah. We've even seen like Vlad's first before, Blink Vlad's Radiance. Just use the Drunken Brawler as a gap closer. Just get in without the Blink Dagger.
Got to think for EHOME too. If you win another fight in dominant fashion, immediately into the Roche pit, just control the map.
Yep. They're winning these fights with a late game morph and a Midas brew. So it's like 4k gold lead with a morph and the Midas. It feels amazing. They're getting away with this. Not that it's super greedy. Like Morphling is not played for being that greedy particularly, but
Look at him, he's just sitting around on 2,400 HP, just in case he gets ganked.
that's interesting. I don't think,
I don't think you have to do
I
that.
don't know if that's intentional or not.
Nah.
but
I mean, with the
Radiant's
gyro
middle tower
IO?
is under attack.
I think he just didn't realize. But maybe he did.
Yeah, maybe in the last fight he was. It doesn't cost you anything to swap between the stats. I was team smoking to him. Maybe he did think that there was somebody in the
He was
area.
baiting. Yeah, like
Baiting.
an invis, someone like an invis rune or something, gonna stun him, like out of DK stun.
Yeah, may as well like plan for all of those possibilities. If you're baiting anyway.
That sentry not in range to deward.
They dropped down
Oh,
another
they
ward.
see that ward.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no chance. Keen
It's a really nice ward, but it's gonna be gone.
The Kunkka armor.
That was heads up from the
Dyer's
King
middle
Gaming to
tower
drop a
is under
defensive ward
attack.
there, knowing that the invade was coming.
This is a very common thing that we see is like these wards just right at the like these high grounds,
Yeah.
even defensively. It honestly doesn't matter what high ground or jungle it is. It's just you want wards on those high grounds. It's just so
There'll be a fight
powerful.
there eventually, it feels like.
Right. There's very few locations you
Radiant's
can
top
fight.
tower is under attack.
Split.
Ward field.
Chasing.
They're looking to disengage all the X.
Oh.
They have the vision.
They got him caught. The rest of his team is so far away.
The
Where's
spell?
the control? Hello? Lift up. The Chain Frost is bouncing now as well. Maybe in some trouble. The run buff is going to start wearing off relatively soon. And EHOME need to back off. They have the Armlet toggle that can come out in just a second. If the Kunkka can get it off, he does manage to, but is he going to live any longer? I don't know about that one. As Morphling is going to be forced to back out. They throw out another rocket. Slowed up for the moment.
Zombies are
Lots of
everywhere.
damage coming through. Io
Wears off.
looks like he's going to live.
Yep.
And
Dyer's
now
bottom
Rubik
tower
caught.
is
He
under
fought back
attack.
in the last fight for a long time. They don't have the heroes to go Roche or anything like that though.
Yeah,
They can get the mid tier one.
Dyer's bottom tower
The
is
idea of
under
catching them
attack.
under the tower with the Kunk is good, but they just
Dyer's
didn't have the follow-up
structures
immediately
are
there. So by the time the Brood TP's in and goes for an
Dyer's
ultimate, they're
middle
already
tower is under
stampeding
attack.
away.
Yeah.
It just wasn't that like crisp. Okay, X, Torrent
Dyer's
Boat,
middle
Brood's
tower
already in
has
ulti
fallen.
form, so if the Stampede comes out, he Cyclones. By the time he got in for like a Cyclone, Brew was,
like halfway done his
yeah,
ulti.
he was
Well,
on
yeah.
he was on the other side of the river too.
Yeah.
So
That's where the Blink Dagger is going to make a difference next fight.
yeah, I think this is a good item pickup given where this game stands right now.
Also, maybe prioritizing the Io Gyro when they go in instead of the DK could have been a thing, but he might have not have seen him until he already cast the X.
It's not the ideal target. In fact, he's probably the least ideal of all five. But that's often all you're going to be able to get because he's on the front lines. It's this idea that Jenkins talks about where, you know, you're going to bait this hero, but often it just doesn't work because that hero dies and it's a 4v5 fight. Even if that's the tankiest hero that you don't want to go on,
Yeah.
it still sometimes works fine. Often works fine.
I think it's fine to go on a hero like that if you're trying to reveal the backline and then go on the backline, like you're kind of like counter baiting. But yeah, just to go on the Centaur is definitely often a mistake. The first target is almost never the best target to go on.
S and Y.
Almost always, I should say.
Status resistance seems kind of good.
It's just going for cheap, cost-effective stat items as well. Fighting a lot early with the Dragon Lance, Morbid Mask. He's just going to be very ready to get involved.
I'm seeing S and Y in a lot of these agi carries now, like even anti-mage with Miracle. People just think that with the status resist, this item is a lot stronger.
This is also not the hero that you want to go on first. And the stun is there onto Undying. He's going to heal back through it afterwards. The Brew Split almost completely done now as the Morphling just
Dragon Knight.
lays into all of them. My God! Old 11 also in trouble, and well, just like that, EHOME win a 4 for nothing.
Yeah, good flex steal, you know, typical Morphling gyro stuff. Turn the gyro, get the flak, burst everyone down.
Especially with the Tombstone. It's like you want to sit there and focus the Tombstone, but he's just flacking you with the Morphling. And the zombies were doing so much damage too, and slowing as well.
Yeah, 4k damage. He did more than half his team's damage up with that fight. And straight into Roshan, it looks like. You got
Almost
Morphling.
double radiance.
Rosh is very easy for a Morphling.
That's the other thing about Sanjin Yasha too, is that it doesn't. There's no negative to building it on ranged cores anymore. It's the main that doesn't.
Oh, that's true. That is true, yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire are scattered.
Just such good stats too.
Roshan has fallen
Just
to
plays
the
into
dark.
this early game kind of stats build, Wraith Bands, Dragon Lances.
Oh, he
Just fight
takes
a lot.
the 30 attack speed instead of the morph duration.
I think that makes sense because you just want to morph into Gyro,
Yeah.
get the flak, and then attack.
What's the duration without it?
20.
So you only get one, but if he has it, you get 2 flags. Because then
Ah,
it's up to
I-
35, right? And flak
I
is...
still think
Wait, is
that's
flak 30 or did it get nerfed to 40? Oh, it got nerfed to 40, so you only get 1 flag. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I think yeah.
It used to be 30.
Yeah, it did.
And I think it was
I
even
think it was-
20 seconds.
I think it was 40, then 30, then 40 again. Like
Does
they
that
nerfed
make it a gyro
Radiant's
buff, the
top
fact that
tower
the
has
flak is
fallen.
longer because you can't get 2 flaks
Yes.
on one
Precisely.
That's
Wow,
the
using
only
the-
time that you ever build it.
Using the Stampede for that seems.
They're going to lose all these outer towers. I think
You
this is-
have that's a long cooldown now.
Radiant's
The cooldown
top
is
tower
not what
is
it once
under
was.
attack.
They may even consider going high
Radiant
ground top.
structures
Although
are
Rubik's
fortified.
not there, so I think he
That's a
might just
great
push out
steal.
mid.
Oh yeah.
The breathe fire.
Yeah, double nuke on a creep wave, instantly kill it.
Well, and also just the damage reduction for gyro.
Oh yeah, double damage reduction too from the Fade Bolt.
Yeah.
This is actually a crazy combo.
Radiant's top
Nice flak,
tower
buddy.
has fallen.
0 damage.
What level's our Io at this point?
11. Oh. If they win a big fight, though. Oh, and they also have a halberd for the Kunkka. Faith Beyond, stunned. Trying to bait some stuff.
Yeah, it's fine.
They are a gyrocopter now. Waveform in with the BKB, possibly, or no BKB, just punching everybody.
Purge
Why not?
Purge that.
Time to run away, folks. They do get the Sinister Gaze. Dark almost dies to that one as well, and he switches back over into the gyro, throws out a missile. Chain Frost bouncing, not doing quite enough damage as of yet. Everybody low, but nobody is dead. Old Chicken, BKB gonna wear off. Old 11 looked for the stun, but couldn't find it.
Jeez, if they had the center ulti for that fight, they just run right in.
Yeah.
Kill them all.
The side played that fight
Dire's
amazingly well.
bottom
They kind of
tower is
went on the
under
DK
attack.
but didn't commit enough on him, didn't purge off the Lich Armor. I feel like that's a few fights he's maybe doesn't realize he can dispel the Lich Armor.
Yeah, it's a new ability.
Yeah.
Kind of confusing.
I think the Morphling just knows how tanky this DK is, so even though when Kunkka goes on DK, he's like, oh, I'm going to go find the supports, that's my job. Whereas if they want to go on the DK, they just need everyone, including Morphling, to do it.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
they will actually kill him.
they'll kill him, but with
Is
the
it
not with
worth
the
it,
not with the
maybe?
Lich ulti. I think it's worth it if like the center ulti's down, because then you can just commit back into the like if you kill the DK, you just go in the back line. Like all these heroes are gonna die, but
And you kill the DK, they even just back off and you take the tier 2 reset.
yeah, you can just reset and take a fight with him being dead. But
Vlads.
that center ulti being forced out early was a blessing for the Dire.
Well, I think that's also partly why they go for that dive at the
True.
same time.
Yeah,
But
true.
It just allows them to play very recklessly.
Yeah.
Double damage. Who's got a bottle for the Morphling?
Right. Or just run in and make it happen. Yeah, the call is just,
Becomes
alright,
just
we're
too
going
far.
mid.
I think this should be the tier 2 mid going down probably with the DD. Can't really go high ground, I don't feel.
Look at that little play, too. The Kunkka, like, heads up north because he's worried that they might be down south trying to gank him through the woods.
Hands up.
Radiant's
Like little
middle tower
things.
is under attack.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Man, so high
Radiant's
ground here with
middle
the
tower
Aegis.
has fallen.
Still a little bit left on it.
Oh, TPs, who's got him? The Centaur is going to be the first one back, and it
Radiant's
looks like.
middle tower
It's just
is
going to
under
X
attack.
Morphling for the free damage like this.
Well done. With the DD, it happens so quickly. And
Do they go for a round 2 next creep wave?
they could.
DD's one off, but you could
Are they gonna try to get him when he does that? Or I thought
Where
they were all
they
gonna stand on the
relocate?
high ground.
down bottom. Oh,
To
bounty
get
runes.
bounty runes.
That's value.
Is under attack.
Oh, Centaur misses the stun.
Yeah. Well,
Morphling.
Morphling misses his Zapdos strike, too. Pull him back in.
Can't purge that off the tower.
Found a way to slow
Unfortunately.
siege.
This is some wing shit.
That's definitely worth the relocate, because relocate with the channel time and the way it is now is so hard to use to save teammates. So
Yeah.
there's no value in relocate when you're just defending your high ground.
Yeah. You can see people relocating, just like push a tier 1.
Yeah, so gets what, like 1,500 gold for the team.
Dire's
Yeah.
structures are fortified.
Still a relatively large lead for EHOME. Not insurmountable by any stretch of the imagination, but the bigger issue is that this IO just got caught. Pulls him back in. Faith
Purge.
Beyond on top of it. Do they purge it off?
Yes.
They did. And, well, now Morphling up front and center has the flak working. Building is gone.
Radiant's middle
And
tower
EHOME
has
looking to
fallen.
try and take their first set of racks.
Yule's Cyclone.
Centaur.
That's a Yule, so you can't blink.
Now the follow-up
Now
Cyclone
a
in there.
Cyclone.
That's BKB from Gyro used as well.
Well, they lose the Aegis.
Wait, the Aegis is down. He's switching over to Strength for them, though. They're trying to little him, and they are just going to be able to get the waveform away. Stampede at the chase is there, but with 2 already dead, it's a hard ask to take down EHOME.
Yeah, the chain does some damage, but they're still easily healthy enough considering it's a 5v3 and they can fall back, reset, take shrines, wait next Roche.
More
Or
stuff to
just
BKB now
Get
too.
some map control.
Fights are gonna get a lot harder with this hero having BKB in. I wonder what Brew's gonna go for next. I feel like the Assault Cuirass is a pretty reasonable item to get with the Vlad's pickup. Just buff your Morphling, defend your
Yeah.
team from the flags, and take the towers a little bit easier. Quite a lot
Sounds pretty
easier
good.
actually,
Yeah.
because the armor changes to the towers. They have less armor now, and the Assault Cuirass reduces still by the same amount, if I recall correctly, unless they change that.
And
I
of
don't-
course,
I don't
that's
think
strictly
so.
Not get it.
goodbye, DK.
They may just go high ground now.
50 seconds.
No buyback.
That's a costly pickoff.
I mean, that's a few costly. The IO getting caught on the low ground outside the base shouldn't happen as well when there's a Kunkka in the game. That's one of those positioning mistakes that, you know, I feel like Kaka in his prime would not make.
Damn.
That was brutal, man.
It's true. Well, get that there with the clap. Mr. Gyro. Pulled back a little bit further. They have the morph. Switch it over. Now the flak. Old chicken pulled back in. He's healed back up with the mechanism. Now,
Damage.
Morphling
Really wants this.
does not care.
Won't get it. And they're going to probably have to retreat entirely. No BKB, DK respawn. They don't really want to go back in, even with the melee racks being at like 20%.
So they actually didn't get anything from that.
God, he's so close to getting that. Well, actually, no, he's not. He's still a little ways away.
He needs that 30-minute XP tone, probably.
Radiant's top
Yeah,
shrine
this
is
is-
under
you know,
attack.
they're just playing it safe. They know this is the game that will get them in the
Dire's bottom
playoffs,
tower is under
and then
attack.
there's a good chance they can make it to the major.
DK again. Out of position. Lifted forever. Lands on the ground, and he's just gone.
Oh, man.
That can't
You
happen.
can't keep doing that.
That's when the tilt really sets in. When
Yes.
you've just died twice in a row and achieved next to nothing.
That's
Oh, BKB's still on cooldown here for the gyro. They missed the torrent though, and now the fear to pull back in onto one. That's Morphling living through it though, and now gonna get the split off. Old chicken disarmed. Heaven's Halberd still a pretty good item. The Lich is dead, and EHOME looking like they're in a good position as they get another lift up there onto the gyro, and a stun now also on
Brew
the
needs to be
Kunkka.
careful. He's losing his primal split warriors. And he starts to realize it. And
instant blink out.
they're not going to commit to high ground. These respawn times is just too low.
Oh, they're actually not getting anything.
But I mean, you can
They-
also
they are-
stick around.
they're
here.
Well,
getting a
yeah,
lot,
they're getting
but-
kills. Yeah.
They're not getting wrecks. They're getting a bigger and bigger lead.
Radiant's
Not
top
trying to say
shrine
this to
has
stir shit
fallen.
up, but that is the sort of thing that gets you kicked off of teams when you die twice in a row like that on the DK, because people will remember that.
Yeah.
Like your team will remember that. It's like, oh my god, remember the time this guy 2 times in a row, not once, but twice. We were so close. We had the tiebreaker, and then the fact that King Gaming also lost that first game to Newbie Young, like this, they'd be tie breaking right now, right? If they hadn't lost that game,
Yeah.
even if they lose this, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No, I don't think that's the case. Because they're going to be 2 points behind.
if they won one of these games,
Yeah, if they won one of these games and took Newbie Young, then they would be through the playoffs.
basically be asking a lot.
Yeah, but if they lose this, even if they won that game, they still would be behind EHOME.
Radiant's
Yeah, but they'd need to win.
bottom
They'd only need to win one of these games, and they'd
Sure.
be in.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, a brew Ags.
Okay.
It's been a while.
That seems pretty nifty.
So you would
How does
think
it-
that
how
the
do- how
wind
does this
handle would
even
be
work?
Cinder Brew?
How does this even?
You get-
With the new
Wait, can you cast Drunken Brawler?
you drunken
I would
brawler, your
imagine.
little fire panda?
We'll find out. Maybe he wants to figure it out too.
Okay.
I mean,
So
Cinder
the
Brew?
wind, the clap is on the Earth Panda, right?
Yes.
And then the wind one has the
Cinder Brew.
Brew.
BKB out right from the get-go. They're going to look for this one now. Can they find any extra kills here as Morphling is a better gyrocopter. Now they'll lift up. The buyback come out on both the IO and the gyro as they chase for more. Stampede stolen now by the Dire. They're going to dive into your base and try and eat your face. Disarm the gyrocopter. The little B-man is going to be broken. Possibly going to be killed off as well as they lift up his partner in crime, the IO. Chase for it for more. A nice stun coming out onto the Brew. And still getting the heals. Kaka trying to relocate, but the tether ends up being broken. Pull back in. Still living through this. Kunkka needs to armlet toggle. Looks like he's going to be able to make that happen. And Gyro dies for a second time. 4 dead. Good game. Well played. EHOME into the playoffs.
That's so many buttons for Brew to push.
It is.
It's like, here's another button.
I mean,
And Cinder Brew hits the different spell to Drunken Haze. You know, it's like even more complicated. And
Yeah.
Faith Beyond's always been a big Brew player. Back on Wings, he played this hero a lot. They, you know, innovated with that Brewmaster Invoker strat. But yeah, he's a great Brew and showing it there.
You know what we learned? Brew is still good even in China.
I don't think we learned that. I think we knew that.
We knew that from day one SEA.
I think they learned
Yeah,
that.
they learned they should be maybe considering Brew a bit higher.
Yeah.
What I learned from this is that
Io Gyro is not unbeatable.
no. The best
Io Gyro is not unbeatable.
Io Gyro
It
is unbeatable, but the best place. No, it's not unbeatable. But
Yeah.
the best place to pull out the fact that you know how to play against this hero is just in the final couple games in a group stage. You just bait it twice and They took the bait both times. They even let it go to the second phase. They did the first phase bait, then they did the second phase bait, and both worked.
Can we just point out that we had 3 heroes die in the game for EHOME, and Rubik died 4 times. The other ones just died once. Like, they only killed the Rubik pretty much. All the rest of EHOME was living a lot in this game.
Yeah, this IO Gyro looked even worse than the last. The last one got a few relocate ganks, pickoffs off. This one never got going.
Yeah, this one they like beat it in the lanes, and then there was no. I mean, when you see like all 3 lanes dominating, it's the games always look like they're stomps, or at the very least that like one team has total control the whole game. Unless
you need to be able to team fight afterwards though, because sometimes you can stomp all 3 lanes and it's like tough. But if you like get your level 6s, you can maybe make a play afterwards.
I think the DK is really the weak point here. I mean, part of it, the big faux pas at the end, dying twice in a row, back to back outside your base. But even before that, he was the reason I think they were behind, because he's not making plays. He's meant to be pushing a tier 1 tower with his ultimate, rotating to the side lanes, and because of that one gank with the Undying, it kind of ruined his game, and he never really felt any confidence to move around and help his team out.
Would you believe that the Lich did 2,000 more damage than the DK did in that game?
Is the DK the lowest?
Not the lowest, but
a lot of that. I mean, I call it garbage damage. I think a lot of that Lich damage was the just Chain Frost bounces that did nothing. When they'd already retreated and the Chain Frost is just bouncing around them, you know.
If that's still 2,000 more damage than the DK, though, the pick didn't work.
Some damage is not useful damage. With that said, DK probably has some junk damage in there as well.
Yeah.
We didn't see DK running around taking tier 1 towers this game as much as like the previous games. Do you think it's just like a play issue, or was it just because it's really hard to pair up with another core and push a tower when you've lost all 3 lanes?
Did they lose top that badly? I guess Morphling was free farming.
He was, yes.
They got that 1 kill early with the Lich Centaur.
They won all 3 lanes for sure.
Morphling never died.
Remember when we looked and they just got 2 kills in the side lanes at the same time? They killed the Wisp and then somebody else, the Centaur, I think.
Yeah.
Like they were actually killing the top lane, which was supposed to be the winning lane, the Lich plus Centaur.
Yep. Right.
So results are in. The group stage is done.
Big news, and that does mean
through.
It's going to be LGD facing off against, what, Team Aster, most likely?
Undecided. Well, that result not in. If Aster win, they will win. If Aster win their last series, which is on BTS2 now, they will win the group.
Okay.
And then it'll be LGD versus Vici.
So just playing for seeding. So we've Vici, we've Aster, we've LGD.
Well, seeding matters
that's
a lot.
huge.
And then we've EHOME.
Because 3 teams advance. If you're Aster, you're wanting to verse EHOME, not LGD.
Because think about this. You just have to win 1 game, right? So if let's say that right now Aster win this next game, that would mean that we would set up for a finals of Vici versus LGD in the first one, and then it would be Aster versus EHOME. So
yeah, put Vici in Vici LGD. One of them would knock the other to the lower bracket.
It's a lower bracket though, so it's not.
You're not out, but it puts then that lower bracket matches pressure.
Yeah,
sure. The matchup against the LGD.
Oh, so you're saying it's easier to have just no pressure in the first match. Like if you're playing against a weaker opponent, and then you also have the lower bracket to win as well.
And more so, what it would also mean is that you're one of Aster or EHOME that don't have to beat one of LGD or Vici to make it into the major.
Yeah.
You just have to beat the other team. Which is kind of how it should be in a way, right? Arguably.
Well, and you get 2 chances maybe to beat them as well, because you're gonna have to beat that. That's the only let's say it's not LGD Vici. If LGD Vici both win, you're gonna then verse that team anyways.
If it's not LGD Vici, yes.
Sure.
Yes.
So then you're gonna drop down to the low. Yeah. So if you. Yeah, you get you're gonna.
But you can play them with no pressure, sort of.
Yeah,
well, I guess
it's like if you lose and then your next match is going to be against LGD.
Right.
So it's like you get a chance against one of LGD or Vici, and then you get a chance against the Aster / EHOME, who is the weaker tier.
But arguably, the other way that it could have gone is, let's say that like you were facing up against like Vici and you drop down to the lower bracket, and then somehow Aster are able to upset LGD in a game. Then you suddenly have to play. You don't get to play that team.
You definitely want that first seed if you're Aster. No doubt about it. And they did win game 1 against FTD, so they're in game 2 now. And if they win that, it will be LGD Vici in playoffs.
Wow,
that'll be a hype matchup. I'm glad we get to see it. I think they maybe play out the bracket anyways for seeding purposes, is what I've heard.
Okay. It does have here just qualified as the thing, so.
Okay, maybe not then. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll find out.
China has their own format. They're doing round robin. Everywhere else we're doing GSL groups.
That's true. Well, we are going to have a 10-minute break right now. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We will be back in a little bit since Europe is still not starting for a little while. So stay tuned, and we'll figure out something fun to do for all you fine folks out there. But more from the China qualifier is going to continue tomorrow. For now, congratulations to LGD, to Aster, to Vici, and to EHOME, who have all qualified into the playoffs. We'll be watching them tomorrow. We'll see you guys then. But first, see you in a few for something.